So now we have our clean laminar flow cabinet. The pipets have been clean, the ACCU-Jet is clean. We have gas and the valve of gas has been turned on. Then we still need to turn on the gas burner, which is by pressing this button. And then by pressing the pedal down here, you can get fire out of the gas burner. But we have everything cleaned. I will repeat this again during the Oops Rules videos, but everything that you introduce from the outside, so tubes for example, they always have to be washed first with ethanol before being introduced in there. Otherwise you're introducing contamination from the outside into your laminar flow cabinet. Those boxes at the back of pipettes, pipette tips and Eppendorf tubes, they've all been cleaned before being introduced in the laminar flow cabinet. There are two exceptions. One are these plates. When we give you these plates, they do not need to be cleaned. You just grab them and you put them in here. Then when you're done with them, you can put them, you can throw them away if you're done with them in the blue bin, or you put them in the CO2 incubator. And when you grab them with the CO2 incubator, you can just directly put them in here. So do not wash this with ethanol. And another exception are these serological pipettes. You have them of different sizes, 2 milliliter, 5 milliliter and 10 milliliter. Just grab a few of these and you put them in this rack. And then I will show you right now how to use them together with the ACCU-Jet Pro. But do not clean them. So you don't need to waste time cleaning all of them with ethanol and then making sure they're clean before putting in there, because this is sort of outside of your workspace. This is not a spot that is going to contaminate the rest of your work. So now that I'm talking about the pipette, let me teach you how to use the ACCU-Jet Pro. For that I'm going to use water, this bottle of water, and before introducing the water from the outside to the inside, it needs to be cleaned. There's mainly two ways how to clean it. There's the quick way, which you just spray ethanol on it, make sure it's all clean, and then put it inside, and then you let your hands dry. And there's the other way, in which you're sparing your hands of dousing them with ethanol, in which you make a little bit of paper wet, clean it, and then you introduce it. Of course, the quick way, you're also making your hands wet with ethanol, so they'll get dry very quickly. So that's the disadvantage of that method. However, it's quick. So now that we have our water in here, this is something that I will say also during the Oops Rules video, but to avoid myself any complications in a bit, because I know that I need this water in a bit, I will loosen the cap just slightly. Now I grab the pipette, and there's a specific way, easy way of opening this instead of fiddling around trying to open it here. Just pull the wrapper towards yourself. So we have a paper part and a plastic part. The plastic part needs to be looking towards you, and then you pull it towards you, and you can see that it's breaking really easily, really quickly. Now we keep the tip of the pipette inside of the wrapper, because then it's still sterile. We grab the ACCU-Jet and we introduce it. And then we can use these different buttons to aspirate or eject the liquid. So remember that I loosened the bottle cap. Well, see, now it's much easier to open for me to aspirate liquid or push out. And this is something that you have to get a feel for. The first day of the practicals, you will have time to get a feel for it. Now, let me show you something, because this has different settings. So as you can see, there's here a button which you can push up or down, and if the button is on the full triangle, that means you will use actual force to push out the liquid instead of only gravity. And with this wheel, you can choose the speed at which you do that. So let me put a little bit in the middle, and then let me show you the difference between pushing the liquid with gravity and pushing the liquid with force, which is the empty triangle and the full triangle respectively. So let me start with the empty triangle, so pushing the liquid out with only gravity. So aspiration is the same speed, but now I try to push it out, and look at the speed. This is me pressing the button completely. It's going very slowly, and the last few milliliters just go very slowly. If now I push the button to the full triangle, I aspirate, and now look at the speed in which it is pushed out. Much quicker. And then of course the speed will also vary depending on the wheel. So I can make it slower or I can make it faster. But there is something that you'll have to get a feel for. The first day of the practical, you'll get the first 15-20 minutes, so you practice with this and so you get a feel for it, and so you can decide for yourself what feels best. And then when you're done for the day and you need to clean, you turn the gas off, and then it's just the same that we did before, just in reverse. However, there's one extra thing that you need to do before you clean everything, and that's if you've used the platinum needle to aspirate waste, waste that contain proteins or cells or anything else, you also need to clean the tubing. How do you do that? Well, you grab some molecule water, which the assistants can give you. You aspirate some molecule, so you can see the level of water going down. This 15 to 20 milliliters should be fine, because now we've flushed the tubes with water. But now, to avoid any bacterial growth in the tubes, what we do is we grab a tubing that contains a little bit of ethanol, so this tube contains a little bit of ethanol, and then we aspirate a little bit of ethanol and that's that. And then we give everything a quick spray. We grab a little bit of tissue and then we clean. We make sure to turn off the vacuum. And then we can turn off the fume hood, and this is just very easy. You turn it off, you press the down arrow button, wait for it to go all the way down, and once it stops by itself, you're done.